There is something very big that we are very close to unpacking here. And the panic that we sense right now in deploying what feels to me to be a really nasty emotional tactic here, basically trying to say to people, how dare you go against the grieving widow? How dare you go against David Hogg, right? And you're like, well, I don't know if David Hogg, I know I'm very sad, obviously, that a school shooting happened. The Parkland shooting at high school should not happen. No child should have to live through that. But why does that mean David Hogg gets to go to Harvard? Right? Does that make sense? Like, does he belong at Harvard? And they go, oh, how dare, how you evil, demonic person. Are you possessed? How could you ever question his authority and whether or not he's equipped to run the charity and speak on, gun issues? He survived a school shooting. That's what they're doing right now. And I want to also say that why I don't love these interviews, and I say this with great deference to Erika. And in the beginning with some of these interviews, I said, look, like, of course, they're going to want to make sure they screen these questions. Like, she's going through a lot. Like, she's transitioning, she's doing this. I was like, I wouldn't want to be in her position. We're 3 months in now. Okay. We are still getting rehearsed answers. And I feel like what is missing from all of this is, I don't know, like passion, normal passion, not this like chat GBT feeling of, well, we all need to unite around the mission. It's like, no, I don't really care about cash. I would just be like, what is the borough doing? Has anybody traced this down? Okay. I don't know if Candace is crazy, but she says the French Foreign Legion was there. Has anybody chased this down? I texted her. I got this information. Okay. It's wrong. That's a dead end. Let me move over here. I've got files. I'm going to run this investigation alongside you, Cash. And I don't know what he's doing. I want like one critique of the FBI, one critique of anything which the public is saying is worthy of critique. Like, it's almost like you're dressing down public perception. Like, people think that you can have enough money to just cut over people's gut instincts. That's what it is. It feels like we're so rich, you don't have the right to think. Okay? We are rich enough to remove that. So stop thinking. The elites are here. It feels elite. That's why I hate this. It feels elite. It feels like the opposite of whatever turning point felt like when they were the underdogs, right? This entire presentation is elite. I'm on CBS stage with pre-prep questions and Barry Weiss, and I obviously have rehearsed this answer because I got these questions ahead of time. I obviously know I'm going to get asked this, so I'm going to do I don't even like, and this is a fact. You can ask anybody who's ever interviewed me. I never ask for questions ahead of time. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the direction it's going into. I never give them anything. I never say we can't talk about this. I think it's off record, because even getting questions ahead to me, preparing answers feels fake and gay, right? That just feels rehearsed, because it is. It has to be rehearsed. You got the questions ahead of time. And at this stage, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want something that feels anywhere where it feels authentic. Like one question mark that you have, you're like, oh, like I'd like you to be like, I don't know about those text messages. I think Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger, but the text messages are weird. It's just, I trust my team. My team is amazing. And my favorite date is April 24th because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. And all you need is a light jacket. Like it feels fake. It does. I'm sorry. And I am still interested in getting basic answers to our questions. I don't accept that that's somehow going to ruin the court case, because that's a nonsense. You cannot logically explain to the public how letting us see Mikey McCoy's phone records is just one example. If that's really causing you so much grief, here they are. Here's who we called on that day and for how long. How would that implicate? How would that frustrate your lawyer's efforts? How would the current court case and the jury pool be impacted if you answered about why these Egyptian planes, why it's a statistical anomaly for these Egyptian planes to be surrounding Turning Point USA, Faith events, you and Charlie this many times? How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand how it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, you know? Like I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit. Explain it to me that way. It's not tracking. It's not tracking. And I get it. It's me against the whole world. Actually, it's not. It's me against the elites. We've done this a lot of times. Like I said, Ukraine, COVID, there's a formula here. There's a pattern here. If all of the mainstream apparatus and all of the influencers are pushing something and calling the other thing evil, we're probably about 2 years away from them all then apologizing and being like, I just got it wrong. I shouldn't have told you to get the vaccine. It's a pattern that I've noticed. So I'm going to stick with saying that what happened on September 10th, we are not getting the truth about. We will be back after a few messages from our sponsors. All right, you guys, when they double down on abortion, we have to double down on supporting life. Through our partnership with Preborn, we can help save babies and support mothers that are in need. Every day, Preborn's clinics rescue hundreds of babies because when a mother sees her baby on an ultrasound and hears that tiny heartbeat, her chance of choosing life doubles. And now, thanks to a generous match program, your gift will be doubled as well. That means twice as many ultrasounds, twice as many lives saved, and twice as many mothers that are given hope with diapers, car seats, and counseling provided and care for up to 2 years. If you've heard about Preborn before and you have not yet taken action, there is no better time to do so than right now. Their work is some of the most important work to help heal our country. One ultrasound costs just $28, but you can obviously give 10 times that amount if you're able to. Head to preborn.com/Candace to give. Again, that is preborn.com/Candace. Also reminding you guys about PDS Debt, because whether you are struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and to craft a personalized plan that is designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score that's required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, which is in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. It boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and it holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. Every month you wait, it will cost you more interest and fees. The best time to start was probably yesterday. The second best time is right now. Don't wait another month. Take back control in 30 seconds. Get your free personalized assessment and the best option for you by visiting pdsdebt.com/Candace. Again, pdsdebt.com/Candace. That's the vibe. We are too rich. We are elite, we are rich, we are powerful, we have connections, and you guys are just beneath us. There's like an element of feudalism here. Like we are the lords, and who are you? Who are you? We can afford this, and we're gonna keep pushing, and until you believe what we say happened, even when it just makes no sense. It's frustrating. Like I'm frustrated by it. And again, I have been clear. I think Tyler Robinson was involved on that day. I think there were multiple people that were involved in that day. Obviously, most people were involved. I think he took clothes and hid them in the cemetery or whatever next to the Dairy Queen. But I don't think that he was on campus that day. I do not believe Tyler Robinson was on campus that day. And I would just also like to point out how easy it would be for them to give us anything believable. Help me out, guys. Again, I'm not a legal expert. Glenn Beck understands this stuff, but who am I? I'm so sorry, Glenn. I don't explain it to us. But I don't understand how if they just released a video of him taking the shot, because there's video of that, how would that ruin their case? How would that not support their case, actually? And also support their case with the public? Like that would be the first thing I would do rather than try to deploy this propaganda effort. You could just present something solid, like something that isn't flimsy in this entire thing. And I think that would be my call. I would just be like, here you go. There you are. Happy for you to see it. He took the shot, and you're going to see Tyler Robinson jump down, and it's not going to impact our case because how could it? It's open and shut. He wrote out his entire confession. You're seeing the footage. Nope, they can't do that. Well, guys, I'm happy to learn that Tyler Robinson is not AI because, that it's been so weird that we just can't see anything about him. Obviously, I'm being tongue in cheek, but he has finally appeared in person He made his first in-person court appearance. Kind of seemed like he was smiling. I did not get the energy of someone who is worried about getting the electric chair. There's nothing really to add here. There wasn't anything that really came out of this hearing. Everything is obviously very preliminary at this stage. This is going to take a long time, but we're obviously hoping that they are going to allow transparency and accessibility to the case by allowing the media in there. Media organizations, even for this case, are requesting the transcript of the hearing, and hopefully we will have more. But he exists, okay? We'll keep you posted. In other news, or things that I'm frustrated about, is just more than the people who hate me and are dedicated every minute, because apparently they're allowed to get clicks off of my name. I'm not allowed to talk about what I want to talk about on my show, but they can talk about what they want to talk about over and over and over again on their show. But I reserve more contempt for the people who don't have the courage to just hate me and instead try to hide behind Bible verses. There is something that deeply and spiritually bothers me about that. And chief among them is Allie Beth Stuckey, okay? She presents herself, like, her brand is squeaky, clean Christianity, does a lot behind the scenes. She's hired like a monster PR agent. Anyone will tell you that. There's not a single Daily Wire host, Matt Walsh, Michael knows, nicest people ever, Brett Cooper, that will defend Allie Beth Stuckey's current PR agent, who is just literally hell-bent on advancing Israel's cause by any means necessary, like by sending someone to follow me after I was no longer employed there to try to make me look bad on camera. She keeps files and cuts people out of context and then sends it to people like Ian Miles Chong. I mean, this is a bad person who Allie Beth has hired, but we're supposed to believe Allie Beth is Christian. Anyways, I do want to point to this because she's now, no, it's always biblical. So you can never question whether or not she's just being a mean girl and using Bible verses to qualify being mean. But yesterday we peaked because she's now moved to being a teacher and letting you know that not trusting the mainstream narrative actually is, it's a rhetorical device that was used during BLM. Let's just read her post here. This really annoyed me. And even further, the comment section annoyed me. But she wrote, in 2020, we all became familiarized with the Kafka trap. It's a rhetorical trick wherein you insist that someone's denial of an accusation proves their guilt. You're denying you're a racist because of your white fragility. It's a way to make your arguments irrefutable without ever having to provide evidence. BLM uses this tactic repeatedly, and now Candace has taken a page out of their book. Anyone, including Charlie's own wife, who pushes back against her conspiracies are only doing so because it's a psyop. They're getting paid. It couldn't possibly be that people sincerely disagree with her methods or can disprove her faulty logic. It's an effective, albeit dishonest, way to solidify yourself as the only champion of truth. Now, first and foremost, this is a very unfortunate example for her to use BLM, saying that 2020 taught us that many people fall for this type of thing, because the truth is most people don't want to think. Actually, Allie, ironically, I actually did the documentary on BLM and George Floyd. And the lessons of the George Floyd movement was that the entire media, plus influencers, can collude to suspend rational thinking and can use emotional arguments, right, to get you to stop looking at a corrupt charity. I can't believe she used this example. It's like, there's nothing more that could be in my defense than saying, oh, remember what happened in 2020? Yeah, I do remember what happened in 2020. The media lied about George Floyd. They lied about how he died. A video went viral. Every influencer posted black squares, called people racist, said you were with them or you're against them. You were evil if you didn't understand how far racism had become. And then little old me did a video and I disrupted this narrative by telling people the facts about George Floyd's background, his record. I then did a documentary on it. And I revealed to the world that the media actually is to blame. Like, they will collude with each other. These are powerful organizations. They can make something go viral. They can make evil look like good and good look like evil. That is actually the true lesson of corporate structure versus really just a few truth tellers, people who are actually willing and dared to question that narrative, okay? Now, my issue is that when people push back on her, she just pulls out the Bible. Okay. Like, for example, this is in the comment section. Somebody wrote to her because she's been sniping at me and it's been very mean girl-esque. This person wrote this on Instagram. They wrote in the comment section, you keep inserting yourself into this topic, but you never add any real value. So what is the agenda for you here? Candace wasn't even mean to you when you inserted yourself the first time. So mean girl energy, like that's a fair question. She does have mean girl energy. Then she says, oh, Britt, I comment on the news. Charlie was my good friend. No one commenting on this story is inserting themselves any more than Candace is. You don't see value in learning how to decipher truth logically and biblically, and that's okay. Like that sentence, just play it again. I want to read it again. You don't see the value in learning how to decipher truth logically and biblically, and that's okay. My content is not for you then. How does that not just make your skin crawl? I don't know. Like, does that not make your skin crawl? Just be snipey and petty. Stop using the Bible as a shield for what you're doing, okay? That woman accurately called you out. I don't know her. Thank you for saying it's very obvious what you're doing. To come back and say, I'm so sorry that you don't like the Bible. I'm so sorry that you don't like the Bible. She is like Salve Regina George, right? Like Mean Girls was fine because we all knew Regina George was mean and she was like proud of that. Allie Beth Stuckey does the same like tactic of attacking people, sniping them. And then she's like, I'm sorry you don't like the Bible. I actually do like the Bible. You know, I haven't made Christianity my brand because I'm a Catholic and I don't believe that women can be priests and should be playing the part of pastors. I believe that if I have a question about the Bible, I should go to my priest, not to Allie Beth Stuckey on Instagram. But what I can say to you is that a main takeaway is the truth. You should commit yourself to the truth. And Allie Beth Stuckey has gone through great pains to cover up for people that are lying. Okay. No one worse than Josh Hammer. Okay. Josh Hammer explicitly lied about Charlie's state of mind. He went on multiple podcasts. He called me a liar. He never blinked on Israel. If I did not release that text message, that would have been the narrative. If you are a Christian and you purport to have been a good friend to Charlie, that's low-hanging fruit to say what Josh Hammer did here was wrong. Okay. She says she's a good friend to Charlie, but when similarly I came out and said a thing about the Catholic faith, if you were a good friend, wouldn't you have said, you know what, Alex Clark, that whole little episode saying Charlie only liked architecture for what it's worth, it wasn't true. You wouldn't be running PR for her. If you were a friend to Charlie and you were committed to truth, then when Ben Shapiro lied and said that he never had any issues with Charlie, and I said that's not true, it's very, very much not true, why is your reaction every time that I expose the lie to attack me? That's what she does. I'm going to show you a clip. All of these people have been caught in verifiable lies. And let's be clear, they attacked me first. I never came out and attacked these people. I just said, oh, the Catholic thing was cool and I was hoping for that. Or, as Ben came out and said that he was good with Charlie or whatever and was doing a show. That's not true. That actually is not true. And all these people just attacked me for saying, oh, he had some issues with Israel in the end. Watch Allie, how manipulative it is that she is going to defend those characters who are lying and say that it's problematic that I am telling the truth after I've been lied on. Look at this clip.
She's released a bunch of texts about Ben between her and between Charlie, and, you know, basically saying that they didn't like Ben very much back in the day, 7 years ago. And I just will say, like, yeah, I would hate someone to, like, after I died, to reveal texts like that, like, between us, because those texts didn't make Ben look bad. They made Charlie look bad. They made Charlie look bad.
So
and, like,
manipulative.
That's
She's
your
so
friend.
manipulative.
That's your friend, man. And why? I mean, it makes him look petty. And I'm just not sure, like, what that revelation really accomplishes. She's also criticized Lila Rose heavily, and she's kind of questioned Lila's military connections, I guess, because her husband is a veteran. She has questioned Alex Clark and Alex's decision to talk to the Wall Street Journal a week after Charlie was murdered. And Candace claimed that it would make her feel icky to speak to the media 1 week after Charlie's death. She did do a CNN interview a couple weeks after Charlie died, though. And I just want to say, like, I know Alex and Lila really well. I know Seth. I've known Ben over the years. I know Josh. And everything I know about these people is that they are kind and genuine people. And I don't believe that they deserve at all to be implicated in this way.
I don't believe that they deserve to be called out when they're lying. I know. I think it's fine that they attacked her. I think it's fine that they lied on her. The ugly thing is when Candace stands up for herself and brings receipts. So she demands evidence. There's no evidence. I present the evidence. And then she says, you know what? Showing that text message from 7 years ago to prove that while Charlie was coming up, which is what I said, that's why it had to be from 7 years ago, obviously, that's the crime. That doesn't make Charlie look good. You telling the truth and not allowing a bunch of people to grift after he dies by pretending they were friends with him and had no issues, people that literally tried to stop him from coming who he became, allowing Alex to just lie about where he was while you purport to be a friend of Charlie. You mysteriously didn't know about the mass stuff, the Catholic conversation. The issue is me telling the truth. That's what she's saying.